Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back, students. So today we are on lecture 5 of online learning course, and the course is Programming Fundamentals. Today, inshallah, we are going to discuss C++ pointers. Now, as I told you people in the previous class that references, arrays, and pointers are concepts related to each other. So, having a good knowledge of arrays or reference is necessary or prerequisite to have understanding of pointers. So, inshallah, today we are going to discuss pointers. They are very important topic. Languages such as Java and Python do not have any pointers, but they use pointers as an object. So these concepts you are going to learn these concepts inshallah in advanced courses, but for now let us see what C++ pointers are and why we use them and why they are necessary. So you learned from the previous chapter that we can get the memory address of a variable by using the ampersand sign operator. So for example, we executed this example. In this example, you can see that we have a string variable called food having value of pizza. So if you write cout less than sign food, so the value of food, which is pizza, will be displayed. And if you write cout, if you display food and write the ampersand sign, so you will get the memory address of the food variable. So with that we noted that a variable also has an address, and we can also display that address on the monitor or on the screen. So let me run this program. Perhaps we already have run this program. So if I write yes ampersand sign food, so here you can see that we have ampersand sign with this food variable. So what will we get? We will get the hexadecimal address of that food variable. So this is that address. So it means that a variable has a value, it has a name, it also has an address, and it has the data type. So let's go back to our slides and let me just maximize it. So with that, now we are in position to discuss C++ pointers. A pointer, however, is a variable. So it, like other variable, it is a variable which means that it can hold something. So what is that something? A pointer, however, is a variable that stores the memory address as its value. So a pointer is a variable capable of storing the memory address. So obviously that memory address could be address of another variable, that could be address of, like for example, a hardware resource or a software resource or whatever. But in this course we are going to see that that address is of another variable. So I repeat, a pointer is a variable capable of storing the address of another variable. A pointer variables points to a data type like integer or string of the same type. So if you have integer variable, then you have to declare integer pointer in order to allow the integer pointer to store the address of integer variable. So a pointer variable points to a data type of the same type and is created with the static operator. The address of the variable you are working with is assigned to the pointer. So this sentence is important. The address, so what does it say? The address of, okay, let me change the pointer. It's a laser pointer. No, this is also not good. Highlighter. Yeah, highlighter is better. So the address of a variable you are working with is assigned to the pointer variable. So a pointer is a variable capable of storing address. So let us see this by running a practical example. So here is another example. We have header file iostream for getting data and displaying data to the input and output devices. And then we have a string header file. In order to work with the string, we have to include it. So first we have a string variable called food. We assign a pizza value to it, and then we declare a pointer variable. How? You write the data type, which is string, then a static operator, and then the name of the pointer. In our case it is ptr. Then we assign it the address, not the value, the address of a food variable. How? By using ampersand sign and writing the name of the variable. So here you can see how a pointer is declared. It is declared by first writing the data type. So the data type should match with the data type of the variable of which you are assigning the address to a pointer, and then we use a static, and then the name of the pointer. Remember to put the space, and then assignment operator, and then you use ampersand sign and so to get the address of the food variable. So a pointer variable that store address of a food is ptr. So if you write output the value of food, you simply write cout less than sign food, less than sign, and then in double quotes you go to the next line using escape sequence. But this will only display the value of the food variable, which in our case is pizza. But if you want to display the address of the food variable, you can write reference output the memory address of food. You can simply write cout ampersand sign food. So what it will do, it will cout the address of the food variable. But there is another way to display the address of food variable, and that is to use the pointer. So output the memory address of food with the pointer. How do you do it? You simply write cout less than sign, and then you just write the name of the pointer, and then you will see the address of the food variable in hexadecimal notation. So with that, I'm going to run this example, but first let me copy it. Okay, let me open the code blocks. Let us create a new project. Click new project, select console application. Console application means program that means input and output data, and here I'm going to write pointer variable and click next, and then we our project is created with this default code. We do not need this default code, so I'm going to remove it and then paste our own program. So once again we are here to display the address of a food variable. So there are two ways. You simply write the ampersand sign with the food variable, and you write the pointer variable. So let me compile and run this program, and there you can see that the address of a food variable is in hexadecimal notation 6E-FEC0, 6E-FEC0. So that is how you display the address of a memory variable. So why do we need the address of a variable? We discussed it in the previous class. It is sometimes you need this address because you have to write a smarter code. You have to make your program efficient. You have to increase the performance of your computer system. So that is why we work with the computer memory address. All right. So let me go to our slides. Let me maximize. Okay. So create a pointer variable with the name ptr that points to a string variable by using the asterisk sign. So asterisk sign in our case is this multiplication sign. So this is how you write string and then asterisk ptr. Note that the type of a pointer has to match with the type of a variable you are working with. So here in our case the type of the pointer was string, and it has to match with the type of the food variable, which is also string. So with that, let us move on. So if the data type of food was int, so we have to declare the pointer of having the data type of int. Okay, use the ampersand operator to store the memory address of the variable called food and assign it to the pointer. So here in our case we use this ampersand sign and we use it to like get the address of food variable, and after that we put it in the pointer variable. So this is what this sentence says: use the ampersand operator to store the memory address of a variable called food and assign it to the pointer. So we then assign that variable address to the pointer. Now PTR holds the value of food's memory address, which is the address of food variable. So I think now it should be clear to you. Pointers variable are used to store address of another variables. So remember, variables have four things now: the data type of a variable, the name of a variable, the value of the variable, and then the memory address of the variable. So with that, we are going to move to the next slide. So there are three ways to declare pointer variables, but the first way is the preferred one. You can write string and then this is static symbol and then space my string. So this is the preferred one. You can also declare a pointer by writing the data type and then space static my string, and then you can also like write string space static space my string. So it's up to you which style you use, but normally this is commonly used and most preferable used style to declare the string, to declare a pointer. So we can also do dereferencing. So what does dereferencing means? Dereferencing means get the memory address and the value stored at that memory address. So this is what dereferences mean. So there could be many like requirements where you need to get the address of the variable. So getting the address of a memory variable and then through that address getting the value of stored in that address is called dereferences. In the example from the previous page, we use the pointer variable to get the memory address of a variable used together with the ampersand sign reference operator. However, you can also use the pointer to get the value of a variable, and this is called dereferences by using the once again static operator. The dereference static is also called the dereference operator. Alright, so with that let us see an example. So this is C++ dereference example. Here you can see inside the body of the main program we have a food variable having value of pizza, and then we have another pointer variable PTR, and it is holding the address of a food variable, and then you display the pointer variable by simply writing cout PTR. So what it will does, it will just display the address stored in PTR. So the memory address of food will be displayed by running this statement. But what does dereferencing mean? Dereferencing means to output the value of food with a pointer. So if you want to output the value of this pizza variable, a value of this food variable, then you can write cout less than sign and then static operator, which is also called dereferencing operator, and then the name of the pointer, which is PTR, and then you go to the next line. So I'm going to I'm going to discard these highlighting, and let us now, okay, this was not that example. Yes, this was that example. Let me copy it and let me go to our best friend code blocks. So far if this C++ course is there. So in the project title I am going to write dereferencing variable, and then let us go to our source file, and here you can see that it is same example. Here we are just displaying the value or the address of food variable by using the pointer, simply displaying cout PTR. But here we are going to display the value of food through the pointer and using this dereferencing operator. So let me compile and run. So in the first case we displayed the address of a variable food, and in the second case we displayed the value stored at this address. So this is called dereferencing. I hope this is clear to you. You have to like run these programs by your own, type these programs, and then you will get more and better understanding of what is happening. Okay, so once again we are going to go to the main slides. Okay, so note that the steric sign can be confusing here as it does two different things in our code. We used in declaration, so we have used this steric sign in the declaration like string steric ptr. So what does it do here? It creates a pointer variable. When not used in the declaration, then it acts like as a dereference operator, just as we used it with the pointer in the cout statement. All right. So you can also change the pointer's value, but note that this will also change the value of the original variable. So if a pointer is holding the address of a variable and some data is stored at that address, so if you use a pointer variable and go to that address and then change the value stored at that address, so this change will be also reflected in the original variable. So the value of the original variable will also be changed. So this is an example. So we are using header files, then namespace std, then is our main program. So in this main program you can see that we have a food variable having value pizza, then we declared a pointer variable, assign it the address of a food variable, and then you just display the food variable, and then you display the address of a food variable, and then you display the address of the food variable using you display the value of the variable food. How? By using this pointer variable. So this pointer will first point to a particular address, and then whatever the value is stored at that address will be displayed. So this is also called dereferences, just as we discussed in the previous slide. So this is how we change the value of a pointer. So if you write dereferencing operator ptr and then assign it hamburger, so this will also be reflected in this food variable, because now food variable has pizza, but we have address of this food variable in this pointer variable, but we are using dereferencing. It means go to this address, and whatever is stored in that address, override it with this new value, which is hamburger in our case. So if you output the value of this pointer variable, so if you once again use dereference, dereferencing means you go to the address of the pointer variable and then select that value and display that value. So you will see a newly changed value, which is hamburger, and same is the case with the food. So let me once again run this program by selecting this code. We are also running out of time, so I am going to click project, console application, make sure that C++ is selected, dereferencing used to change variable value. So make sure that you are giving it a meaningful name to your project, because in future whenever you are studying your own code, so it will be easy for you. So this is that example. Let me compile and run. So here you can see a newly valued through dereferencing is displayed, which is hamburger, and hamburger is the change is also reflected in the food variable. Now food variable has a new value called hamburger. Okay, so with that we move to once again to our slides, and I'm going to go to the next slide, and this will be our last example. In this example, we declared three variables: variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, having their respective values, and then we simply displayed these values, and then the address of these variable are by using this ampersand sign or address of operator. And then we declared a pointer variable and then assigned the address of first variable to the pointer variable. Then whenever you displayed this pointer variable, the address of first variable will be displayed. Then the same pointer variable can be used to get an address of another variable. So now in this case, we have assigned the address of variable 2 to the pointer. So if you displayed write this cout ptr once again, so it will display the address of variable 2. So a pointer variable can be used to hold address of many different variables, but at one point, at one time, it will store only the address of a single variable. But because it's variable, so the address that is stored in the pointer variable can be changed. So with that, I'm going to end this lecture. So if you have any queries, any question, you can post it on the Google group, or then I'll be very happy to answer these questions. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.